Okay, so I heard back from so we're gonna have to do a little update because we've been talking about Coco coir and latex tops now,
Right.
right? I don't think we talked about that together on video yet.
No, the last time we talked, we were still kind of going down like Cork Avenue, and we were talking about possibly like looking into fabric a little more.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so take it away.
Okay. So we looked at the cork, and I mean it's not totally out of the question, but you found some issues with allergies. Number one, that I actually looked up, and there's something to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one thing. The other thing is it seems like it's quite complicated to do this the way we want to do it because it turns out that they use PVC, like plastics in the glue that holds cork together.
Right.
So in order to do this without any of those things in it, it's hard, and the manufacturers want like large orders, and it's going to be hard to actually to pull that off for the first round.
Okay.
So we were talking about using coco coir, which is like coconut husks, like the stringy stuff on the outside of a coconut. It's actually used in mattresses, and it's quite like a high end material. It's used for really expensive mattresses, and then they hold it together with natural latex, the same thing that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking was like the base is made out of coco coir, and then there's a layer of natural latex on top. And I guess the reason like we want this is because we want it to look flat when it's on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Because those ones that look like duvet covers basically or big duvets, it's just not a very nice look.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, so ideally it would be like the coco coir on the bottom, a little strip of natural latex to kind of hold it and also make it waterproof. So if you spill something on the top layer, the fabric cover,
Yep.
you
And make
rip
it a
off
little
the
bit
cover.
spongy too, or like softer almost, right?
Yes, yes, for sure, to make it padded too.
Yeah.
And like we want to make sure when you're crawling on it, it doesn't just like bunch up, right?
Yes.
That's useless.
Yeah.
So the coco coir has to give it a little bit of I don't know, like structure, form, right?
Yeah.
So yes, so I talked to somebody in Asia about it, and they said it was all totally doable. They did get back to me with a price, and the price is it's possible. Like it's definitely workable. It's
Okay.
definitely workable.
Cool.
We have to just add our fabric cover to it, and that might be kind of expensive if we want to use nice fabric. But I do think that we can. I think if this factory works, then I think that we could be in the like 150 to 200 Canadian price range, something like that
For retail.
for retail. Yeah, which is kind of what the good mats are in,
Yep.
right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what they quoted was like a 2 centimeter thick coco coir layer on the bottom, 1 centimeter of natural latex on top. And then in their quote, they actually put like a mattress surround around it, which I don't think we want,
Oh,
right? Because
yeah.
they make mattresses. So they like assume that we would want to make it into a mattress, but we just want, I think we either just want it bare or we want like a very minimal cover, right?
Yes. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we'd have to look into like a fabric cover.
Yes.
And so do you think, because if it's 2 centimeters of cocoa coir
Mhm.
and 1 centimeter of latex, you said?
Yes.
So do you think it'll still
Thick.
roll?
Well, that's a good question because I asked her if that will roll, and she said no, but that's because she said she used the hard cocoa coir in the quote. So I think there's like a softer cocoa coir.
Okay.
It has to roll, right? Otherwise, how it's going to be so hard to ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to roll.
Yeah. So she said she would quote me with a like a softer cocoa coir, and she also said, so the minimum order is only 100, which is awesome. And she also told me that she could send us samples, like like sections, of the different thicknesses to see which one will work for
Awesome.
us.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So maybe we'll only have to spend a couple $100 to actually like get it into our hands and see if it makes
Yeah.
sense or not. Yeah. And then the other thing I was doing was talking to somebody about, I found this German woman who specializes in like natural dyes. Now, I don't know how important this is, but I did email her and I asked her if we could meet with her, and she said yes, no problem. I don't know if we have to pay her or not. I responded and I was just basically like, first of all, how much? And then second of all, like on our first go round, we're probably not going to make a custom fabric.
Hmm.
So like, can you help us just possibly source the fabric, or like how would you work with us kind of a thing? And I haven't heard back from her yet.
Okay.
So like the fabric that I showed you, actually, let me see if I can share my screen and show kind
Sure.
of what we're talking about. Let's see. Um, does this work? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. This is really a small image, so it's going to be kind of hard to see what's going on. But can you kind of see it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. So the base layer, that's that coconut husk stuff, and it's held together with latex. So that's 100. There's like nothing bad in that.
Cool.
And then on above that, that latex part, the white part is latex. Now she did say they have to use a glue to glue the latex to the cocoa coir, but
Yeah.
she told me they have glues that are natural. So we're gonna have to get a list of ingredients in that glue to make sure.
Cool. Okay.
Another thought I had today was like, why don't we have an ingredients list on our products? Just like food.
Oh yeah. I think absolutely we should.
Yeah. So, okay, let me switch back. Or wait, do I have anything else to show here? Here's a picture of the cocoa coir that's actually kind of rolled. So you
Okay.
can see that it does roll. Now this stuff looks so thin that it might not work very well.
Yeah, it looks like thin and like loose, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that might not work very well, but hopefully the other one that I showed, hopefully it's more like that, just not quite as thick.
Right.
Yeah, I think like a 1 centimeter base with a 1 centimeter latex top would be perfect.
Yeah, agreed. I'm excited for a sample.
So am I. And then the other thing I was looking at today was felt, like thick felt.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find a picture.
For the cover?
No, like as an alternative to using the cocoa coir.
So like thick felt.
Yeah, like almost like a felt like like a felt mat.
Okay. Are people
Uh,
doing that
I don't
already?
think so. No, not really. Like this would still just be the base layer to provide some like structure and some softness, and then we'd
Right.
still stick on top of it like a washable piece of fabric, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, it rolls
Okay.
nice. It's natural because it's wool.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it might be a little bit more expensive, possibly a lot more if it's 100% wool, because
Yeah,
it's gonna have to be thick, right?
for sure.
So this is, I guess, like one other option. I think there's probably I may have seen playmats made of this, but nothing like with a nice fabric top and like with stickies on the bottom to make sure that it doesn't move and all that. So uh, there's not like a good one, that's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, can you see me now?
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of where that's the update.
All right. No,
Yeah.
I have no update.
Okay.
I guess
Um,
we're waiting for to hear back from her.
yeah.
And then in the meantime, we can like look at like pursue the fabric a little bit more too. Because like when I was looking for fabric for my other project, we got excited about a fabric that was made in Canada. And then when we researched it a little bit more, it we kind of lost where it comes from. And there's a good possibility that it actually does just come from China. but they're just like, there's a third, which is fine, but then just the way that they were selling it is really expensive, and they were kind of selling it saying that it's made in Canada, but I don't think that's the actual real story. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine if it's made in Asia as long as we know that we have to know everything about who's making it. The only reason it's like slightly worse if it comes from Asia is because there's way more unknowns. Like if we know there's a Canadian company that's weaving the fabric and sourcing the material, then it's easier to know that we're using good stuff.
Right.
So, but yeah, if they're just reselling it and just like kind of
Yeah.
using the Canadian name, that's crap.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's what we didn't like, and that's why we went straight to Asia.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can look into that a little more.
Yeah. I think the fabric covers, like the more I look at these different textiles and stuff, the more interested I am, because in the very beginning we were talking a lot about like making something that really looks good in a house. And
Yep.
although cork is nice, I agree. It's natural, it's nice. I don't think there's that many people who would just buy a cork mat. Like some people might, but
For
I
not
don't think
doing that,
it's,
you mean?
yeah, like who would just like throw a big piece of cork in their living room.
Yep.
Some people would, I agree, they would. But I think way more people are likely to buy something that looks like very much like a rug with like pattern in it. And, like that's more realistic that somebody would actually buy that without having a kid or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like the idea of having these tops and then them being interchangeable and like people just like swapping them or even making their own.
Right.
Like that's even kind of a cool thing. Like you can just make your own.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Fabric.
yeah,
Because yeah, then I guess we need to think about like how many different designs we want to offer, and like,
yeah, for sure. I showed you some pictures of indigo dyed fabric.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's nice. And indigo is a natural, like I don't know, I think it comes from an indigofera or something, a plant or a flower,
Okay.
but it's a natural dye. It's fairly safe. Like there's nothing wrong with it. And
Okay.
I guess you need like some sort of heavy metal to make it actually attach to the fabric, but I think there's a safe way to do it. So you end up with like a really natural dyed material. And then it's kind of nice because like as indigo fades, it's like jeans, like faded jeans are nice,
Mm-hmm.
like that faded indigo is always kind of a nice look. So the matte top is going to fade if it gets washed a lot and gets sat on, and it's just going to like wear nicer and nicer.
Right.
So
Cool. Yeah. No, I
yeah,
got it.
yeah. So yeah, that's where we are, I guess.
Okay. So short little update.
Yeah, short little update.
Oh, wait to hear back from Asia.
Yeah, for sure. That works. Next week.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Yeah.
Johnny.
Okay. Love you, Anna. Bye bye.
Love you. Okay. Bye.
Bye.